back somewhat. Very interestingly, it just decided to crash itself. So I don't understand why. I don't understand how it happened. But we will just roll with it. Let's quickly see. There we go. We are back on the grid. Alright, we are back to live pictures. I'm sorry for the small intervention. My game just decided to crash on its own, amazingly. So yeah, that's splendid. So now, after the reset, we are just waiting on the light to go green for the formation lap. And there we have 30 seconds, and the cars are all lined up on the grid. As we await the green light to start the formation lap for round number 4. Final setup changes are being made. And we are off for the formation lap. As Hochhausen is going very aggressively out towards the front. Needs to be careful that they don't upset the race control too much, as yeah, that could throw a big spanner in the works. I do gotta say, it's a lovely circuit. Around the northern part of the beautiful South African landscape. As Moro is in the pit lane. That's an interesting development I've just seen. Moro starting from the pit lane. I must assume it is a mistake, although with a reverse grid there's always an amplified chance of some shenanigans on the opening tour. That might be a reason to start from the pit lane to avoid this kerfuffle that might happen. As we are heading through the final set of corners. They are lining up side by side. One more corner left to around, and we are on the main straight. There you can see it in the pit lane. Moro being parked stationary. As they all are forming information across the start finish line, and it is green, green, green as we head on to round number 4. Immediately in the background you can see cars going left, right and center trying to claim a position from the start. Bregnick seems to have gotten away very good, as in the background the Porsche from Falcinelli as steaming up the inside, and multiple cars have been turned around in the background, one of which being who is that? Fitzpatrick O'Leary. There's a lot of stuff going on. Moro now getting out of the pit lane. But Iliscu and Dundee's pole have also been turned around. Taylor, I believe, as well. So a lot already to digest in the opening turn of the circuit, as another car is bringing up a yellow flag after turn number 4. That would be Hochhausen in the Mustang. Also one of the front runners having a difficult start, as car turn 8 being Iliscu causing another yellow flag in sector 2. But right now we are on the opening tour as they head into sector 3 now. As Martinelli already got an angry Mustang behind. Can everyone make it through? Oh, and in the background there is the McLaren of Gonalons. Has hit the barrier and they have kept it going, but that seemed to me like it was a pretty hard hit. Are we gonna see an attack from Gertz into the first corner? The Ferrari tries to defend it, has got the inside line, but Gertz pulls on the switch as Martinelli tries to defend it, goes over the curb. That's not gonna work out there, and they have to settle in behind Gertz, but already got another Mustang driven by LoJack up their rear bumper. Martinelli also seems to have some damage to the front of their car, might impact their Aero performance. And around a circuit like this where you really need that aero, it is a tricky situation to be in. As we have already got Paris, Eliascu, Hochhausen and Moro all in the pit lane. Moro, even after starting from the pit lane, is already returning to the pit lane. Maybe they are going for an interesting strategy. Oh, there you can see Hochhausen with some major damage. As further behind, Jordanov and Paul going at it. Jordanov was a bit slow coming through the some sort of bus stop, you could call it. Nearly got spun round or pit maneuvered by Paul in the Nissan. But luckily they avoided further carnage. In front it is really tight and compact, as Watson is already getting a little bit loose on the rear end. Exiting out of the final corner. There are some lapped cars already going in between the leaders. One of which is Moro, who just came out ahead of Weatherston. Does get the blue flags and leaves the door open for Weatherston to filter through. Car number 28 has got a stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That would be Eliascu, making a day go from bad to worse. As car 88, driven by Kyalami, has also caused a yellow flag at the final corner on the exit. Cabros trying to get away around the lapped car of Hochhausen. Hochhausen might think that they have got some speed, but they should give away, as they are gonna, or already receiving blue flags, I should say, from the cars behind. Personally, I've been in a similar position, actually around the same circuit, Kyalami, where there was a lapped car ahead of me and I started losing quite a lot of time. Hopefully Hochhausen will realize that those blue flags are for him. As Weatherston gets a bit tight on the apex curb, and that leaves the door open for BX Royal to try and send one around the outside. Not quite gonna work out in the final corner, but it does show their nose. Put some pressure on the BMW driver as they make their way down into turn number 1. Gr3 now putting on an attack on the Ferrari. As ahead we see that Cabros has made it past Hochhausen, and Gr3 in behind has made it past BX Royal in the braking zone of turn number 1. More cars are entering the pit lane right now. Being Eliascu once more for the drive-through penalty, as well as Kyalami to repair some damage, as well as Dandis, who is also now in the pit lane. Was actually stop-go 30 for Eliascu, not drive-through penalty. So that is going to be a big fight back from the back of the pack. So far, Regnix and Scallion have maintained their lead after starting from P1 and 2. The biggest winner right now, Falcinelli in P3 after starting in P8. Gaining a lot of time and positions through the first corner. I think it was, I believe indeed, the yellow Porsche that sent it up the inside, which probably spooked some other drivers in making contact with other cars. Not to say that Falcinelli was at fault for any of that. We will let the stewards decide on that. Oh, Caesar getting all out of shape out of the final corner. Now it's got Turney alongside on the main straight. As someone has fallen victim to the apex curb on the final corner. Oh, and very late brake. Oh, and there will be contact between the McLaren and the Aston Martin. Luckily they keep it going, as Caesar was very late on the brakes. And Renault tries to take the position. As is, oh, and there has been a pit maneuver there. Caesar has been turned around by Turney, who in turn has hit Taylor. And that is some massive damage for all three of them. And now Freivogel behind will pick up the scraps from this battle. As up ahead it is Warrior causing a yellow flag, being slowed. These opening 9 minutes have really kicked off very nicely. But it is still Regnix who holds the lead of this race. 1 second is the gap, but in behind it is very close between P3 and P4, or P2 and P3, sorry. Falcinelli has made it past Scanlon. And will now set their sights on P1. Of course, mandatory pit stop is still a thing, with refueling only being needed. No need to change tires, although around the circuit I figure you might want to do that. It is not that much longer to take on the extra tires, and it will get you quite a lot of lap time out of it. As we see that car number 8 is now in the pit lane as well, belonging to Caesar, after getting turned around at the end of sector number 1, hitting the barrier at like a 45-degree angle, needing to come into the pit for some repairs. As the Porsche is eking ever so closer on this lap, already gaining around a second. Ooh, but bouncing quite aggressively over the curb at the penultimate corner. Now only 3/10 is the gap between P1 and P2. 6/10 quicker on the last lap. And the Porsche is going to send it up the inside into turn number 1. And they make the move stick. And even worse for Regnix, he loses not 1, not 2, but loses 3 positions in only a couple of corners time, dropping from P1 all the way down to P4, as Kurtz is now sizing up a move on P2 man Scanlon. As we have another yellow flag for Hochhausen at the same exact corner. As I believe they have retired the car now, Hochhausen, after starting quite far up in P5, not able to make it work out. And picking up some heavy damage on the first opening tours around this glorious circuit, I must say. I really enjoy the circuit, also the scenery, the people, the landscape, the whole country, everything else with it. Maybe corruption a little bit less, but hey, you can't have everything, right? The ex-Royal trying to set up an attack on Weatherston. Going into turn number 1. Can be pretty brave on the brakes, especially if you have the inside line, as this quite a sharp turn 1. One of the sharper ones on the calendar. Oh, but the Ferrari runs out wide, and LoJack is there to capitalize on it as they make their way into sector number 2. It is LoJack with the inside line for the fast sweeping right-hander. And LoJack takes the place, although will the Ferrari fight back? Seems like it is nearly lost. They do have a nose in for the inside. Oh, but they get it all wrong on the curb. Slide along across the curb and end up in the barrier with some damage to the front left side of the car. And I think that might even impact their steering slightly. Any damage you receive on the front end of your car is not something you would normally want, just damage in general really. Gr3 putting up the pressure as a stop and go has been given to Popov for speeding in the pit lane. As we already saw with another car, another penalty has been dished out for speeding in the pit lane. As in all fairness, it is a difficult pit lane to enter. But the top 3 being separated by less than a second. Already 15 minutes into this race, so anything can still happen. The front pack still somewhat closely together, as we have BX Royal now in the pit lane to serve their mandatory pit stops, I would assume. Vogel there, really close to the back of the Porsche from Taylor. Is there going to be a move on the inside of the hairpin? I think there is, and there will be, and that is the BMW up a place, up to P11. Also starting from 3rd place, trying to make their way back up the grid. And this is one of those first spots. Now a 7.7 second gap to the next car. But a lot of clear air, so that should give Vogel the chance to show off some pace as Taylor going drifting around the final corner. Same story for Azuyan, being quite a ways back from the next car. Nearly 10 seconds behind, but a lot of clear air, and that should give them some opportunity to catch back up. As all the others will be stuck in dirty air, like Weatherston now stuck behind 2 cars with another one lining up just behind them. Stop go has been cleared, so no penalties at the moment for any of the cars, as the McLaren of Ragnick's goes a little bit deep into the hairpin, and Ragnick's now holding up almost the likes of Carlos, Weatherston and LoJack in their fight for a potential podium, maybe even a win. As the gap is starting to grow, it's now at 4 seconds, as we had another brief yellow flag from Titswell, or not, excuse me, not Titswell, from Druid, out of the 4th corner, 4th or 5th actually, I should look it up, I believe it is the 4th. Oh, Cabras nearly into the back of Regnix. Regnix needing to release the brakes and thus going very deep into turn number 1. A push from Weatherston on Cabras, trying to get around the corner, and it is all starting to kick off as Regnix now choosing the inside line for the upcoming right-hander, trying to maintain their position, but Cabra swoops around the outside in the Porsche. Weatherston tries to follow them through. It is the inside line for Weatherston now. Still side by side they go, but Regnix now out on the grass and also losing a position to Lojek now. It is a bit falling down the order for Regnix as it is right now, after starting from pole position down to 7th place. But it's not over yet, anything can still happen. We still got 2/3 of the race left to go, including the major pit stop phase. Scallen in P3 is trying to cling on to the back of Gertz and Falcinelli. As we start lap number 11. A lot has happened, including this one. Paul, after starting from 4th place, being tagged in the opening lap, dropping all the way down to P13 and visibly carrying quite a lot of damage to their GTR machinery, which will not do the lap time any favors. Caraballo nearly a full second quicker than Fitzpatrick on the last lap, as what I believe is the top 3 in bronze class being very close to one another. Only a second really in between 3 cars. This could make things very spicy. It's one BMW against 2 McLarens. And Caraballo nearly to the back of Fitzpatrick. That was a close one. A lot of drivers being caught out by the braking distances, especially to the cars ahead of them, trying to maximize their braking performance, and in doing so nearly costing either or both the race. As ASEAN now has managed to stretch away from the 2 McLarens behind. As 2 McLarens more than a second slower than the BMW, so this is the opportunity for ASEAN to try and extend their lead over these 2 McLarens. As Popov had a yellow flag moment, and I can see what is the result of that, and that's a very much damaged front end of that McLaren. That should not look like that. They are staying out, so feeling like the damage isn't that massive. Does looks like that from the outside. Oh, and we have a spinner, and that is Druid, who does keep it. Oh, and Weatherston. Oh, and another one. That is Cabras, right? Yeah, Cabras. Oops, sorry. Being spun at the final corner. Did the two of them make contact? There's damage to the front of Cabras' Porsche. Does look like there was some contact. As now there's going to be almost 3 wide as they head into turn number 1. The Lamborghini of Morrow, being blue flagged, should get out of the way of this battle. But before that happens, Gonalons is going to take P6 away from Martinelli behind. As Regnix is now back up into the top 5 positions after Weatherston and Cabras made contact. Oh, and now Gonalons has made contact with the Lamborghini of Morrow, carrying more speed and tagging the rear bumper of the Lamborghini. Through it now in the pit lane. As O'Leary, we haven't really seen anything from O'Leary yet. Starting all the way down in on the last row of the grid, now up to P19. So a very good start from their side. Let's see if they can keep it that way. They do have Dundee's behind, but they are blue flagged, so in theory should not attack the Mercedes car. So Leary has 6 seconds to the next car, or next group of cars actually, as Fitzpatrick is really close with ASEAN. Let's try and see if we can get some pictures from those. Camera work absolutely brilliant there. The BMW going deep, but staying ahead of the bright pink purple McLaren, as Taylor, Fitzroy and Cabras now are all into the pit lane to serve their mandatory pit stop. A bit of an undercut from their side. Should be wary not to come out in any traffic, as on the last lap the two McLarens were considerably quicker. As ASEAN goes in deep, gets it all wrong into the gravel and loses both positions to the McLarens. Fitzroy trying to fight it out for P17 as Kyalami there gives way to the BMW. I would really want to take a look at the replay right now, but it's just too busy at the moment to really catch a break. I'm afraid I might miss something. We have Weatherston in the pit lane. We have a yellow flag for Taylor at turn number 1, which has been resolved right now as well. And Falcinelli also in the pit lane, pitting from the lead of the race and now exiting out back on the circuit. Black and Fitzroy going side by side as there is a yellow flag for Dundee's, I believe it is, getting back on the circuit, presumably after having spun at the penultimate corner. Very easy to do there, very tricky corner. Now Scallon and Gertz are 10 seconds ahead of the nearest competitors, so a podium looks really locked in right now. Although it is the question where Falcinelli will come out of the pit lane or will end up out on track as LoJack is now also heading into the pit lane. As well as Martinelli and Freivogel. So they all choosing to come in right now. Ball now up to P5. As Caraballo and Fitzpatrick now going side by side through the penultimate corner, and there's contact! Contact between the two McLarens. They spin round, and Adrian needs to pick the way through. Oh, and more carnage as the McLaren from Caesar going in very hot into the penultimate corner, spins it round, picks up quite a lot of damage, I believe, but Caraballo having a synchronized spin there with Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick staying out, and Caesar has returned to the pit lane. As now Ragnix is under attack. It is action left, right and center. Gonalons right behind with Moro now as well. Moro of course being left, but still wanting to keep up their speed to pick up anything else. Ragnix now in the pit lane, getting it stopped nicely for the pit entry. Not speeding as we have seen with some other drivers. Gertz now also in the pit lane. Fitzpatrick getting away with that scary spin after the collision happened between them and Caraballo. I hope for them that they are not carrying any damage, as I only think the damage was done to their time in regards to their competitors, as it is halfway race distance, or race time more like. We are 30 minutes in, 30 minutes left to go. Valcinelli has come out in P4, or after Pistols has played out in P4, extended 3 seconds away from LoJack, so that's some good progress. Of course, P2 car Turney still needs to make their mandatory pit stop, as I believe Scanlon does need to do that as well. Or it might be Paul. I think Scanlon has made their pit stop. Let me quickly check. Let's see. Where's Scanlon? Scanlon is all the way down in P17. I'm not sure what happened there with them, but they were up in the podium positions and have now dropped all the way down to P19 even. It doesn't look good for them. I must assume something is wrong, as it is a very busy pit lane right now, with a couple of cars going out, including Warrior. There's Warrior fresh out of the pit lane in P20, 11 seconds behind P19 O'Leary. So this will be one hell of a stint to try and catch up and get the deficit down to hopefully a minus seconds instead of plus seconds. Fitzpatrick now into the pit lane as well as ASEAN. So BX Royal moves up 2 places to climb up into the top 10 positions, as it is Paul and Turney still needing to to their pit stop. So it seems like we had... Oh, and there's a Ferrari out on circuit. Ooh, that was a scary one. That was Iliscu, a scary one for Paul, trying to pit, but being blocked by the Ferrari. Hopefully Turney will not have any disadvantage from that. I don't think they will, as the Ferrari is now heading into the box. I believe we have had some incidents with Scanlon, Kellyan and excuse me, Paris? No, not Paris. I'm not quite sure. Either way, Scanlon seemingly had a disconnect. So that's why they are not driving out of the pit lane. They have had some issues. Iliscu now also in the pit lane after that scary spin. LoJack up in P4 right now. After starting from outside of the top 10 in P13, making up 9 positions. Now in P4, but 14 seconds away from the podium. That is a long shot. But we have seen some great pace from the Mustang driver. So who knows, maybe they will be able to close down that gap. As Gertz is now lapping Black, with Weatherston up ahead, also having a disconnect. Now being down in P26. That's a real shame for them. Vrijvogel really close to the back of Regnix in front. 0.6 of a second as they head on to lap number 20. Currently P7. As we ride on board with the BMW driver, making their way through the opening sector. This corner named Barbecue, which I fully approve of. Should have been called Bri, but not everyone will get that. Then we head into Sunset, probably one of the most liked corners around the track, at least in my opinion. Before we head through Clubhouse, turn 7. Then we get to the S's, the bus stop, whatever you want to call it. Try not to hit that curb on the entry or on the apex of both turn 9 and 10. Then we head up into the hairpin. As the two drivers are closing in all through it ahead of them. They will get blue flags, so should get out of the way. This is a good lap from Vrijvogel, being even green on their personal best lap time, which is a 42.0. So this should go into the 41s. Barely shave the apex curb on Cheetah. And now through the final corner. Coming up to the line, and it will just be a 42. A 42.2 point or 42.235, I should say. Oh, but they're scaring Ragnings a little bit with some late braking. Now going almost side by side through the opening sector, and they have muscled their way through, and it is Freivogel now up into P5. As Caesar is still in the pit lane. Not quite sure why. As Lojak is now up into the podium positions. Did we lose someone else? Gonalon seems to have also had a disconnect. Carabio also, by the looks of it. Scanlon has, Weatherston has. So a lot of upset in this race, that must be said. I think I'm just seeing ghosts, I don't know. Paul here trying to make up some further positions. Got the Ferrari of Martinelli just ahead of them. Now they've got the lapped car of Jordanov ahead of them. This camera placement sucks, Nissan. Try to get something better. There we go. Slightly better, although still not optimal. There we see the Nissan. Or see the BMW being passed by the Nissan, I should say. As now Paul can set their eyes on the Ferrari, the McLaren and the BMW ahead of them. For a potential top 5 finish, that would be quite something. And that's also partly why we have these reverse grid races, to spice up the standings, of course. With Gertz in the lead right now. Almost back to same old. But still. So I have been told that there was quite a lot of shenanigans going on lap number 2 at the final corner. A lot of cars being involved, including Kyalami, that caused some damage to a handful of cars, including Paul actually. So that might explain why they have got some damage, or carrying some damage around. But right now, that's no issue for them, as they're just trying to fight their way through. And maybe even get the car who started from pole position. As we have some more disconnects by the looks of it. Have we lost some important drivers? No one in top 10 by the looks of it. But yeah, we have definitely lost some drivers. including Weatherston again. OSD GTR is going for a move there. Was there contact at the apex? They are side by side now through turn 5. And Paul is now up to P7. A lot is going on right now. I'm trying to cover everything, but please bear with that. There's just so much going on right now. O'Leary with 4.5 seconds to Warrior up ahead. Oh, make that a little bit more as they nearly drop it in the third sector. Just having a little bit too much rotation. As they now got Logic behind them in the Mustang. Getting blue flags and will give way to them on the main straight. Doing so nicely. Morrow now, after having that disastrous opening tour, finding themselves up in P15. Actually, that is exactly where they qualified. So, in the end, not really a big loss, although it always could have been much better. Although saying that for Falcinelli, after having a decent run, I would say. Let's see, where are they in my list? There we go. A P6, a P9 and a P11 finish. P2 would do them very good in the standings. As Eliascu has got another yellow flag at the penultimate corner, has gotten going again. So not to cause any further issues. Cabras as well, also a horrific opening lap, being turned around at turn 1. Now on the back of Scanlon with 4 seconds to P12 Turney. With 14.5 minutes left to go. Asen now 1.6 seconds ahead of Turney. 1.5 seconds. Let's see if they can keep it that way. As we take a quick look, they are leading Silver Class right now. So this would mean quite a lot. Asoyan as well, being very good in P16, leading Bronze Class, but 2 cars back, not even 2 seconds back, is Fitzpatrick. There we have Warrior trying to get past the BMW. Half a second in between the 2 cars. Almost a second quicker on the last lap was Warrior. But catching up is one thing, getting past is a whole another. Fuel load will be going off now as well, depending on whether they have changed tires or not. Tires will also be dropping off. be really interesting to see where they will end up. There was the opportunity for a move down the inside. Not quite happening, and now almost needs to turn attack into defense as the McLaren is getting steadily closer to the back of that Porsche. It's really nice to see though. Blue, green, pink, purple. Love some vibrant colors on the race circuit as that green vibrant Porsche goes through at the hairpin. ASEAN going in deep. Ooh, as the BMW nearly runs it out wide onto the grass. And now needs to look and defend from the BMW. Oh, as the BMW is round. Round they go, and that is a P1 in class finish, surely down the drain. As they did get tagged by Fitzpatrick, nothing Fitzpatrick could do there really. As the BMW was perpendicular to the racing line there on the exit of the penultimate corner. They have gotten going again, but are now quite a long way down. Lots of people being disconnected. Does not really help their race. It does help others' races, but that's not really the point, is it? And I think the top three is very well established with Kurtz, Falcinelli and Lojak making up that podium. As Kurtz also has got the fast lap for a 1 minute 40.9. So they will take the extra bonus point associated with it as well. Vrijvogel in P5, also a very decent position for them to be in, although it's not over yet as only 1.4 seconds behind. We do have Martinelli in the Ferrari trying to catch up. On the other end, we do also have Fitterer just up ahead as O'Leary gets out of the way from the two gold class drivers. As in front it is nearly going 3 wide. Although none of it is for position, as it is Fitterer, ASEAN and Druid getting past one another. This will mean that Vrijvogel has got 2 blue flags to get through. This will be the first one, the McLaren off Druid. As into sunset they go. It's a nice sunset right now, I think. Maybe a bit after. It's more like dusk right now. Ball now up into P7. It looks to me like something happened with Regnix. I didn't quite catch that, but they are quite a bit further down the field now in P9. There we go. Over 10 seconds behind now of Paul. Nearly or over 9 seconds behind BX Royal. Hopefully they will be able to keep their top 10. It's 5 seconds to Paris behind, 20 seconds to P11, so that should not be a big problem. Gonalon still needs to do their mandatory pit stop, otherwise they will be disqualified. I hope that they know that. Otherwise it's going to be an interesting one for them. Are they the only one? Let me quickly check. That's a yes. As we now see the Lamborghini of Moro battling for position with Taylor. Rounding out lap number 29. And I think we have 5 more laps to go. Actually, 4 more laps to go. I take that back. 4 more laps to go, including this one. Maybe 5 for them, depending on what leader will catch them. It's difficult, right? We will see when it happens. Then we will figure out who goes where and who finishes where. Here we see the rear view from the Porsche. Fully into the second sector now. Probably the most technical sector of the 3. At least we can probably gain you can lose or gain a lot of time if you do or do not get the correct lines through there. And I think these last final 5 minutes of the race will be very exciting between this Lamborghini and this Porsche. Every single time going through the penultimate corner, it's so scary. Oh, as that is quite a big slide from Taylor. That will put them on the back foot as they head into turn number 1. The Lamborghini fully into the slipstream, 4/10 slower than the Lamborghini on that last lap, as they are nearly going for a move. Not quite. The Porsche runs it out a little bit wide, but stays ahead of the Lamborghini. Up ahead, 2 left cars who I am hoping will not interfere with this amazing battle right now. Jordanov does get out of the way of these two very nicely. Oh, as there is a send from Moro from a long way back. I don't know how they managed to keep that so neatly, make the apex. But a very nice move there from Moro. Now it's all their job to keep that position, not make any stupid mistakes. As anything can still happen in these last couple of laps. Any further battles out on track? A battle for fifth position, sorry. Between the Ferrari of Martinelli, currently holding 5th position, against Freivogel in the BMW. Two laps to go for them. Just over 3 minutes of battling left to decide a top 5 finish. Yes or no for either the Porsche or Porsche. Wow, I'm getting tired. Wow. Between the Ferrari or the BMW. I hope that Gunnar is aware of the fact that they still need to make a pit stop, as we have a nice scrap for P11 between Turney and Cabras. As I believe Gunnar is now into the pit lane. Leader is on the final lap. That means that there will be yet another lap for these drivers. Ooh, very close there between the Porsche and the Aston. The Porsche looking, but no way past yet. Turney feeling the need to go defend. Oh, and they've been tagged! Cabras has been tagged by Scanlon behind. Oh, and that's going to be very, very annoying. Cabras will be fuming after that, having a shot at 11th place and being quite honestly taken out by a backmarker. And that's nothing you want to see happen during the race. But let's take a moment to applaud this man. After starting well outside of the top 10, being reverse grid, they have stormed their way through and will take victory in round number 4. Very nicely done there for Gertz. As also very well done goes to Falcinelli, who will take 2nd place. Ahead of P3 man Lojek, who will round the final corner right now. And see the checkered flag. Also a very nice result from them to take the final step on the podium. Up next it is Fitterer, also a stellar drive from them, taking P4, staying ahead of Martinelli. As Paul will take 7th place. Also a very nice recovery drive from them. Regnix, after starting in P1, didn't quite have the pace to hold on to that, but still will finish with a top 10 finish, claiming P9 at the end. And this Turney and Cabras making up 11th and 12th place. Cabras fuming probably about the incident on the penultimate lap. They will finish P11 and P12 respectively. Do we have any other cars out on circuit? No, we do not. All the cars have returned to the pit lane by the looks of it. So we are now just waiting for the clock to run down, I think. So it is a Ford 1-3 with Falcinelli very nicely in the middle, being the food in the Ford sandwich. Then Fitterer, Martinelli, Freivogel, Paul, BX Royal, Racknix, and then Paris making up the top 10 after 1 hour of racing. Then the Sterney, Cabras, Taylor, Morrow, Warrior, Fitzpatrick, ASEAN, O'Leary, Black, and Scanlon making up the top 20 with Druid, Iliscu, Gonalons, Cesar making up the remainder of the field that finished. As I will now grab the replay and we will see the carnage that unfolded in the opening tours of this circuit. Let's quickly save the replay just in case the lobby or the server goes down, because yeah, we have a lot to uncover. So let's take it from the beginning. We will go on board with the LoJack, or actually we should go on board with Cabras, because I believe they got spun round. So let's take a look. Start of the race is green light, immediately darting to the middle of the circuit. And let's see what happens then. Picking the inside line. Oh, there was more contact. It was a Constantina effect, and Cabras actually got through unscathed. It was more about the BMW. Who is it BMW again? That is Freivogel. Freivogel was the one who was involved in that turn 1 incident. Or was the big loser out of that incident. Porsche sending it up the inside. Ooh, and I think the Porsche from Falcinelli is to blame, or partly to blame, for that incident. As Freivogel then gets back underway. More incidents have happened there, including with Paul. Let's see what happened with Paul there. Oh, and a lot has happened there. Multiple cars getting squeezed and being tagged. Trying to get back on the circuit. As behind I saw O'Leary also going off. Oh, and just getting caught out by the Ferrari ahead. And then that was Hochhausen there having a spin. Or a spin. There was actually some further contact. It wasn't actually on Hochhausen. It was more on the other Mustang. The other Mustang belonging to Paris. That was actually what happened with Hochhausen. Does stay stationary there to make sure that they will not get back on the circuit, causing any further incidents. Also, then Hochhausen goes into the pit lane. Then I believe another incident. Ooh, there was already some contact there with the Ferrari. Trying to hang on. And then just pulling over to the side of the road. I would have thought that they would have spun round again, but apparently not. Let me see. I believe there was also some issues with another. I'm looking for a brown McLaren. There we go, from Caesar. Because they do have a very lengthy lap number 5. Oh, and I remember this incident. We saw this live on the video. Oh, I guess not.
Green light, go, go, go.
We will quickly head back to the lobby to visit the gallery and then to... That's the wrong one. That's from August 24th. I don't think that's the Kyalami I want. So let's take a look. We were focusing on a brown McLaren of Caesar. Just one. There we go. I need to go back. There we go. Do this, do that. And there we have the incident. Bit of contact through there, nothing major. Ooh, and that indeed they got indeed tagged around. Also collected the Porsche on the way through. Now let's see it from Turney's side. Trying to go for the switcheroo. Does very well in avoiding the further incident. And that was the wrong way. Now I want to see it from Taylor's perspective. Nearly 3 wide. Tries to get through. In the end does get tagged. Doesn't seem quite as major as I thought it would have been. Anyway, I think we have a lot more to uncover, but I think it will be more up to the stewards to decide, so I will try to stitch something together. For the next race, because there is surely a lot to uncover. So I will leave you guys for tonight. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Next week we will have a break from the regular season. There will be an off-season event. Not 100% sure I will be able to commentate, but you will see whether or not we will be live. The regular schedule will continue in 2 weeks' time, where we will head to... Let me take a quick looky look. No, not that one. That one either. That one. We will go to Alton Park in the UK. Very narrow, very bumpy circuit. Will sure give us some another action-packed race. Until that time, I will see you then. Goodbye.